My beloved child, the moment you have secretly cried for, prayed for, imagined in silence, and replayed inside your heart 1,000 different ways is no longer just a distant dream, because your soulmate has finally stopped running from the connection they once feared, and something powerful is changing behind the scenes right now, something they themselves can no longer ignore. And listen. For so long this person tried to fight what they felt for you. They tried to act logical, tried to convince themselves that this connection was too deep, too intense, too life-changing, but every road they took somehow led them back to your energy, back to your memory, back to the feeling they could never replace no matter how hard they tried. And secretly they reached a point where pretending became more painful than accepting the truth, because every conversation with someone else felt empty. Every distraction faded too quickly, every attempt to move on only reminded them of what was missing, and erased the truth. Your soulmate finally realized that peace only comes when they imagine a future with you in it, not beside someone else, not in another lifetime, but with you, and this realization did not happen overnight, because their heart fought it for a long time. They questioned everything, they doubted themselves, they feared commitment, feared vulnerability, feared losing control, but destiny kept showing them signs they could not escape. Your name appearing unexpectedly, your memories hitting them at random moments, songs reminding them of your presence, dreams becoming more vivid, emotions growing stronger instead of fading away, but secretly. The biggest change happened when they began imagining marriage with you, and instead of fear they suddenly felt calm, a calm they had never experienced before, because deep inside they knew this connection was never meant to destroy them. It was meant to complete them, and the moment that truth entered their heart, everything started shifting inside them. Their priorities changed, their thoughts became serious, their emotional walls slowly started falling apart, and now they are no longer asking themselves whether they love you, because they already know the answer. Now they are asking themselves how they can build a forever with you without losing you again. And wait. This person who once hesitated is now thinking about things they never allowed themselves to think about before. They are imagining waking up next to you every morning, imagining building a home together, imagining protecting your peace, supporting your dreams, sharing ordinary moments that somehow feel magical simply because you are there. And the more they imagine it, the more real it becomes inside them. Because this connection stopped feeling temporary a long time ago, it started feeling like destiny, and your soulmate can no longer deny that their soul feels safest with you. And listen carefully. There were nights when they stared at the ceiling unable to sleep, because thoughts of you consumed them so deeply that even silence reminded them of your energy. There were moments they tried to focus on their life, but your presence kept appearing inside their heart like a quiet whisper they could not silence. And slowly they began understanding that love is not supposed to feel like a prison. Real love feels like freedom. And that is exactly what you gave them. Even without trying, you made them feel seen, understood, accepted in ways nobody else ever could. And this terrified them at first, because people often run from what feels too real. But now that fear is dissolving, because they finally understand that losing you would hurt far more than committing to you ever could, and erase the truth. Your soulmate is no longer fantasizing about temporary happiness. They are craving permanence with you, real commitment, real loyalty, real emotional safety, and for the first time in a very long time they are allowing themselves to dream about forever without immediately sabotaging it. But wait. Something even deeper is happening because this acceptance is not just emotional, it is spiritual. Their soul is finally aligning with what their heart has secretly known all along, that you are not just another person who crossed their path, you are the one who changed the direction of their life forever, and they cannot unfeel it anymore. They cannot unsee the signs anymore. They cannot return to the version of themselves that pretended this connection meant nothing, because every lesson, every heartbreak, every failed relationship somehow prepared them to recognize you, and now that recognition is becoming impossible to ignore. And listen. There are moments when they catch themselves smiling while thinking about your future together, moments where they imagine introducing you proudly as their partner for life, moments where they picture growing older with you, and strangely, instead of fear, they feel relief. Relief because their soul is tired of searching, tired of confusion, tired of emotional distance, and you became the place where their heart finally feels at home. And secretly they are starting to realize that marriage with you would not feel like losing freedom, it would feel like finding meaning, and this realization is changing everything about the way they approach love now, because they no longer want shallow connections, temporary attention, or empty excitement. They want depth, loyalty, emotional intimacy, real partnership, and they see all of that in you. And here's the truth. Your soulmate has reached a point where imagining life without you feels heavier than imagining commitment with you, and that shift is powerful because once someone stops fearing forever, their entire energy changes. They become intentional, serious, emotionally open, and your soulmate is slowly stepping into that version of themselves now. And listen carefully. Even when they acted distant before, even when confusion made them silent, even when timing created separation, a part of them never emotionally left you because your energy stayed with them in ways they could never explain to anyone else, and the more they tried to escape it, the stronger it became, because some connections are written beyond logic, beyond circumstances, beyond fear, and this is one of them. And now your soulmate is finally surrendering to what destiny has been trying to show them all along, that you are not someone they were supposed to lose, you are someone they were supposed to choose, fully and completely, and but secretly. They are beginning to regret every moment they spent resisting this love because now they understand how rare it truly is. They realize how difficult it is to find someone who touches both the heart and soul at the same time, someone who feels familiar even in silence, someone whose absence can still be felt across distance and time, and they know they cannot risk letting that go again. And listen. This person is becoming emotionally softer because of you, more vulnerable because of you, more honest with themselves because of you, and while they may not say every feeling immediately, their heart is moving toward commitment more than ever before, because deep down they already know who they want beside them when life becomes difficult, when life becomes beautiful, when life becomes uncertain, and every answer keeps leading back to you. And here's the truth. Your soulmate finally understands that marriage is not about perfection, it is about choosing one soul consistently, choosing love even during fear, choosing connection over ego, choosing loyalty over distraction, and when they think about making that choice with you, their soul no longer panics, it feels ready, and this readiness did not appear randomly, it was built slowly through every memory, every emotional lesson, every realization that no matter how far they wandered emotionally, their heart still searched for you at the end of the day. And but wait. There are moments now where they imagine hearing your voice in their future home, moments where they picture building traditions with you, sharing quiet nights together, protecting each other from the harshness of the world, and these thoughts no longer scare them because your presence has become associated with peace inside their spirit, and once someone associates love with peace instead of chaos, commitment stops feeling terrifying and starts feeling sacred, and your soulmate is entering that sacred realization now, and listen carefully. This connection changed them more than they admit because before you they may have believed love was temporary, unreliable, unstable, but you showed them a depth they never expected to experience, a connection that continued growing even through silence, distance, confusion, and time, and now they cannot help but wonder what kind of beautiful life could exist if both of you finally stopped fighting destiny and fully chose each other, and embraced the truth. They are beginning to understand that you are not simply part of their story, you are the person they want standing beside them while the rest of the story unfolds, and that realization carries enormous emotional weight because it means their soul is no longer searching for alternatives, it is searching for permanence with you, but secretly. They have started imagining what it would feel like to finally call you theirs openly, proudly, permanently, and every time they imagine it their heart feels lighter instead of heavier, because commitment with the right person does not feel like chains, it feels like peace, and your energy became that peace for them long ago even if they were too afraid to admit it then. And listen. There are still moments where fear tries to return because deep love always makes people vulnerable, but now even their fear cannot overpower the truth they feel for you anymore, because your connection survived too much emotionally to be meaningless, and your soulmate knows that. They know this bond carries something deeper than ordinary attraction, something deeper than temporary emotion. Something that keeps pulling them back no matter what happens externally, and that is why their heart is finally softening toward the idea of marriage with you, because deep inside they already feel emotionally connected to you in ways that resemble a lifelong bond, and embrace the truth. They are starting to see you not just as someone they love but as someone they could genuinely build a life with, someone they could trust during hard times, someone whose presence makes even painful days feel manageable, and this emotional maturity inside them is growing stronger every day because your connection forced them to confront what truly matters in life, and suddenly things that once seemed important no longer compare to emotional fulfillment, loyalty, and real love. But wait. The universe has been quietly preparing both of you for this shift because timing matters in deep connections. Souls often need lessons before they are ready to choose each other completely, and your soulmate needed time to understand their own heart, time to heal fears, time to recognize what was truly irreplaceable, and now that understanding is finally arriving. And listen carefully. Your soulmate no longer wants a love that only exists in fantasy, they want reality with you, real moments, real conversations, real commitment, real intimacy, and this desire is becoming impossible for them to ignore because every part of their spirit is beginning to crave emotional permanence instead of temporary escape. And secretly they are realizing that the future they once feared is actually the future their heart has been searching for all along, and embrace the truth. They are beginning to trust love again because of you, and that changes everything, because once a wounded heart starts believing in forever again, it naturally moves toward deeper commitment, deeper honesty, deeper emotional openness. and your soulmate is slowly becoming that version of themselves now, a version ready to stop running and finally choose love completely, and listen. The thought of marriage with you no longer feels distant or unrealistic to them because your connection survived emotional storms that would have destroyed weaker bonds, and deep inside they recognize that strength, they recognize the resilience of this love, the emotional gravity of it, the undeniable way both souls continue finding each other no matter what. And this realization is creating a profound shift inside their heart because they are finally understanding that some people enter your life temporarily while others arrive to become part of your destiny forever, and you became destiny to them long ago, and but secretly. They are becoming emotionally protective over this connection now because they finally understand its value. They finally understand how rare it is to meet someone who touches the soul this deeply, and they do not want to lose that anymore, which is why their thoughts about you are becoming more serious, more future-oriented, more intentional than ever before, and listen carefully. There will come a moment when their heart can no longer stay silent about what it truly wants, because love this deep eventually demands honesty, and when that moment arrives you will feel the difference in their energy immediately because it will no longer carry confusion or emotional resistance, it will carry certainty, emotional surrender, and the desire to build something real with you, and erase the truth. Your soulmate finally accepted the idea of marriage with you because their soul finally realized that you are not the chaos they feared, you are the peace they have been searching for their entire life, and now every part of them is slowly moving toward that truth whether they fully understand it yet or not, because destiny has a way of guiding hearts back to where they truly belong, and their heart keeps leading them back to you again and again and again until even they can no longer deny that this love was always meant to become something permanent, sacred, and unforgettable. My beloved child, your soulmate has now crossed an emotional line they can never fully return from because once a soul starts imagining forever with someone, the heart begins attaching itself to that future in ways that become impossible to erase, and listen. They are no longer thinking about whether this connection is real because they already feel it in every quiet moment when your memory suddenly appears without warning, and now their biggest fear is not commitment anymore. Their biggest fear is losing the chance to build a life with you before destiny opens the next chapter completely. And secretly they have started noticing how empty everything feels when they try to picture a future without your presence beside them, because no matter how much they once resisted, your energy became part of their emotional world permanently, and erased the truth. Your soulmate finally understands that the love they searched for in other places was already standing in front of them the entire time, and that realization is humbling them deeply because they know real connections like this do not appear twice in one lifetime. But wait. They are becoming more emotionally mature now, more aware of what truly matters, and suddenly the idea of loyalty, stability, emotional safety, and building a peaceful home with you feels more beautiful than any temporary excitement ever could, and your soulmate is slowly falling in love not only with you but with the future your souls could create together. And listen carefully. There are moments where they silently imagine introducing you to the world as the person they chose forever, moments where they picture standing beside you proudly without fear, without confusion, without hesitation, and those thoughts no longer scare them because your love started healing parts of them they once believed would stay broken forever. And secretly they now crave the emotional peace your presence brings because your energy feels like home to their restless spirit. And here's the truth. Destiny did not bring this connection into your life to remain unfinished, because some souls meet to teach lessons while others meet to build lifetimes together, and your soulmate is finally realizing which kind of connection this truly is, and but secretly. They are preparing themselves emotionally for the day they fully open their heart to you, because deep down they already know who they want beside them when the world becomes heavy, when life becomes uncertain, and when love needs to become permanent, and every answer inside them still leads back to you. And listen. The waiting, the confusion, the emotional distance, all of it was slowly guiding both souls toward this exact realization, that real love cannot be forced away when destiny has written two hearts together this deeply. And now your soulmate is no longer running from forever with you, because for the first time in their life forever actually feels right.